phone. If you talk about drunk driving, and that's really bad. At all.
I'm Kayla Stafford. Yeah, drunk driving is something teens shouldn't do as well as adults. It's bad. You can go to jail for it. You can get fined up to $20,000 for it. It's something you don't want, pretty much.
Hi, I'm Yosha. So drunk driving is extremely bad. It can affect you extremely, your future job careers, and it can most importantly affect the people around you when you're driving.
This beat is so rich. Banks.
Would you like me to tell you who I am real quick?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Officer Kerr from the Police Department. I've been a police officer for 6 years, and I've been here at Plano East as your school resource officer for the last 2 years. Yes, I do. Let's see. Don't do it. That make it pretty easy?
Yes. All right, next question. So how can you tell us what a drunk driver looks like?
Well, let's see. When I make contact from face to face or in a car or... Okay. Well, when I worked the streets for 4 years. It was pretty common to see folks in late evening hours up into the wee morning hours. A first tell sign will be if I come to an intersection and the light is green and a car is still there. Yeah, there have been times I'll get out and walk up and they're passed out at the wheel, and they've no telling how long they've been there. That's one thing that kind of stands out.
Is that very common?
That happens. I've seen it quite a few times. Another thing, well, I'll sit there and be driving and see somebody ahead of me that's weaving in and out of their lane, not able to maintain a decent speed or a consistent speed. Like the speed limit might be 40, but they might be going 30, and then they speed back up to 45, and then doesn't necessarily mean they're drunk, but there's obviously something going on. They could be texting, talking on the phone, it could be drinking and driving, it could be drugs, could have dropped something on the floor. It could be a numerous amount of reasons why they're doing that. I may not know that they've been drinking until I actually pull them over, and once I come up to the window, what do you think the first thing is I notice? Well, the other people, I notice the smell, because I mean, you can't hide it. Whether it's one drink, it doesn't matter what it was. I mean, it'll stand out.
Do you have any personal experience?
Personal experiences? Yes, actually I do. When I was a sophomore in high school, we had a new move-in, and she came from New York. I grew up in Oklahoma school. And she was there her first semester during Christmas break. She went to a little party. I think she was 16, and she drove home intoxicated, and there was a fatality crash, and she lost her life because she was drinking and driving. Well, thank you.
So what is the procedure once you, already looked at that. Is drinking and driving common in Atlanta?
It's common across the United States. People always talk about having more strict laws, more deterrence, being more proactive. All those things will help with reducing drunk driving, but the main thing what it boils down to is personal accountability, because we're not everywhere to see you drink or how much you drink, or if you decide to get behind the wheel. It's personal accountability. There's options out there to get home safely, whether it's calling a friend, taxi, family, or whatever the case may be. But there's options, but it always boils down to that person who decides to do it.
So what are some of the consequences once you're caught?
Well, you kind of have two consequences. One, you have a DUI minor, and that means driving under the influence, and a minor means under the age of 21. Okay? That one would be a lesser one. It's still a crime, but you have your other one, which is a DWI, driving while intoxicated. What that means is if your blood alcohol content is 0.08 or higher, you're considered by law impaired to drive. So that one would be a DWI. For most teens, I've run across where they just had a beer or 2 beers, and I'll pull them over, I'll smell the alcohol, I'll go through my field sobriety test to determine if they've had too much to drink and if they're able to safely operate the vehicle. In the cases that they are and all they've had was a drink, they would fall under the category of a DUI minor just because of the age. And all I need at that point is just to smell out. Okay. It doesn't mean that they have to be at that 0.08 or higher. If they were, they can still be considered driving while intoxicated, still get that DWI charge. Does that make sense? So you kind of have 2 routes. DUI minor, you don't have to be completely drunk, just the smell of alcohol in your breath, and being under the age of 21. That's DUI minor. Lose your license, a lot of cars impounded, a lot of money to get out of. For the DWI, that only applies to 21 and older, and 0.08, well, I'm not 21 or older, 0.08 higher blood alcohol content. That one, you do go to jail. On average, when I was on the street 2 years ago, if you pled guilty, it runs around $10,000. And that's not without even fighting. But when you fight it, it runs around $20,000. So it's a very, very, very expensive deal. And on top of that, you do lose your license. There's going to be some jobs that you're going to apply for at a later date. It's going to look at criminal history like that, and it's going to disqualify you from certain jobs. So from the law standpoint, the consequences are a lot of money, time, and can affect your future, but most importantly, your life and the other people's lives around you when you decide to drink and drive. Make sense?
Thank you.
Thank you.